strung together into some brilliant sentence that you read and you automatically identify with. My favorite quote about hockey? Hockey captures the Canadian experience in the New World. In a land so inescapably and inhospitably cold, hockey is a chance of life. An affirmation that despite the definition of winter, we are alive. It's pure poetry about my favorite sport. And the first time I read it, I got chills. Oh. And then, there's my favorite quote about my major, communication. Good communication is just as stimulating as a big cup of black coffee. And just as hard to sleep afterwards. The first time I read that one, I found myself going, ooh. You see, words can be so powerful. Our ability to communicate is what keeps us sane when we have heads full of tumbling thoughts. But we can lose all sanity by not saying those things, by letting powerful words go unspoken. I'll be the first one to stand up about things I love, things I know, things I believe in. But speak up for myself, not so much. So, somewhere along the lines of me realizing I had to get these thoughts out, and now, I started writing letters. The old letters, the old letters, they start on the playground. Hidden in some corner because I couldn't stand to be picked on one more day. Because no matter where I went or no matter what I tried to do, there was going to be some big kid there who was going to make fun of me. It was my weight. It'll always be my weight. Sometimes it was my hair, but I'll be goddamned if I didn't at least learn to love this stuff. Sometimes it was because I was too short. Sometimes it's because I hated wearing shoes and I've got pretty ugly feet. But back then, it was always something. And I mean, this was before all the anti-bullying movements. Fuck, dude, when I was a kid, it was cool to be mean. So I sat in a corner and I took out my notebook and I started writing all of those things I wished I could say to those people. And sometimes, I still wish that I could say the adult versions of these things. Dear big kids, you're so mean and I hate you. I just want to be able to play with my friends and you not be mean to me. Sometimes I don't even want to come to school because of you. It's not fair that you pick on me for the way I look. You're ugly too. My mom tells me to ignore you, but I tell her I can't because then you'll just get up in my face and say more mean things. I tell her all the names you call me, like Fatso and Lardo and Ginger. All those things you say, I tell her, and she says I should tell on you. Well, my cousin told me not to tell on the big kids, because if you do, then everybody's gonna hate you. And I like my friends. I don't want them to hate me. Well, sometimes I hide from you because you make me cry all the time. How come you can be so mean to me? I don't talk to you. I don't even know you. You didn't even know my name till my friend told you. I was never mean to you. Well, if I was, it's only because I had to be mean back. I wish you would just leave me alone or move to a new school because you make me so sad and so mad all the time and I have to miss recess because of you. I want to go play soccer with all my friends, but I can't because you say I'm too fat to run. I can run! I play soccer at my babysitter's house after school and I do good. It's because of you I have to hide and cry all the time. You're so mean and I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I still hate those people. Even today when people say things to me, all I can think is, you don't know me. You know nothing about me. You completely disregard the person I am and then just look at me and run your mouths. And here I am writing these damn letters so that I can be just as pissed now as I was then. If not more, because I've grown up since then, and this is still a trend in my life for people to take me at face value and disregard everything else. Forget my kindness, my compassion, my zest for life, my sense of humor. Forget anything that makes me me, and just take me as the fat redhead who's way too loud and outspoken for someone this big. I mean, honestly, I think it scares the shit out of you people that I have this tiny shred of self-confidence that allows me to function in the world. I mean, don't get me wrong. Half the time I make you laugh, it's so that you won't laugh at me. But 9 times out of 10, that doesn't work. It all comes down to the way I look and the way you look at me. And I have to wonder, do you feel self-conscious every time you walk out of your house? Do you think, what's wrong with me today that somebody's going to pick on? Because if you do, me too, man. Me too. And I wonder if we can connect. What's your story? Maybe love, you know, that one thing that binds us all together? Or unrequited love. You know, that one that turned you down, didn't love you back the way you loved them, turned down because of the person you are, or maybe even what you look like? I've got a letter about that too. Dear Heartbreaker, I wish I could remember the song that was playing on the radio that night. I remember I pulled into your driveway thinking, God, I love this song. But I don't remember the song. I don't remember driving home either. It's like you fucking shattered me. I've spent the greater part of 2 years being the best friend to you I could be, loving you so strongly. I gave you everything. I emptied bank accounts for you so you could play hockey. All those pay-to-play fees that racked up, I took care of so that you could do what you loved because I loved you. How many miles did I put on my car driving you around this fucking county? All that gas money wasted so that you could be with us. Because you live so far away and I wanted you right next to me because I loved you. I defended you when people told me you were no good. When they called you an idiotic moron, I said, you don't know him like I do. I gave you everything I could. Money, cigarettes, weed, my fucking heart. You strung me along like an idiot and I loved you the whole time. You treated me like crap, ignored me in groups, led me on so goddamn many times, but I loved you. And I thought to myself over and over again, how can someone not love you back when you love them that much? How can someone look at you and think, God, this person is the best friend they could be for me. They would do anything for me. They love everything about me. And then in that same thought think, but I can never be with her. It's not who she is, it's what she looks like. I can't believe you said that to me. We sat in my car in your driveway and you looked at me and said, I can never be with you because of the way you look and the things people would say. Can I imagine what people would say if we dated? You said, you're a pretty girl, but you're not a girl that can be a girlfriend. People already give him too much shit for hanging out with me all the time. You fucking shattered me. I remember screaming at you to get out of my car, and then I drove away. And I don't remember getting home. I don't remember falling asleep. But I'll always remember the way I felt when I woke up this morning, and your words were the first thoughts echoing through my mind. You told me over and over again how amazing I am, but now I know what's keeping you from being with me. I can't believe that someone that I loved taken every last shred of hope, dignity, and self-worth I have and ripped it from me and left me this bloated mass of fat without a soul. You were my first, and I swear to God you'll be my last, because just like you said, I'm a pretty girl, but not a girl that could be a girlfriend. People would give a guy way too much shit for being with a girl like me. I honestly hope someday some girl comes around and calls you out on all your shit, kid. And I hope she rips your heart out and destroys you, because you're a fucking monster. And not the kind of monster a girl like me could ever deserve. I can't take it. I still can't take it. When I wrote that letter, I was in one of the worst places I've ever been mentally. I had been turned down by somebody I loved because of the way I looked. And all of that petty recess bullying came back to me, and I couldn't breathe for weeks. At that point in my life, I felt like everything was going wrong. I was dealing with denial and heartbreak. I was dealing with friends strung out on drugs in a town that felt like a trap. You know those moments in your life where you look around and you think, if I stay here one more minute, this place is going to be the death of me. And that's what was happening to me. Graduation, it was right around the corner, and I saw my chance to get out. I should tell you now that even after I wrote that letter, I stayed with Heartbreaker. I kept him right next to me leading up to the final moments of my escape. It took over a year after that letter to finally let go of him. And the only reason I could is because by then I had gotten out. I had moved to a town on the border of a country that I someday hope to call home. Now granted, I was only an hour away from my parents' house, or 45 minutes if you drive like a Canadian. But I was away. I had given up on my junkie friends when I realized I couldn't save them from their addictions. I got out of Helston, this small town with big problems, and I gave up my life as a Hornet and embraced my life as a Laker. I'm not like most people at this school. There's a reason I sign all my letters with Laker love. Because the love that I have for the school is a love and a passion that is second to no one. And you know that if you've seen me at the hockey games on the weekends at the Taffy. And if you haven't, then you really need to get your priorities in line. Because those moments at the Taffy, they've come to be the best part of my experience here. This year, they gave me family. Friends that I know will always be here for me, because they're here right now. But when I talk about my love for Lake State, it's always shadowed by this feeling of resentment. I've come to live in resentment in my life because nothing is ever what I expect it to be. People are never as open and as kind and as loving as I expect, and I'm always somehow let down. So that resentment I feel for Lake State, it's always quietly hidden by my outspoken pride. And I had so many things I had to say to Lake State. So I wrote a letter. Dear Lake State, I remember when I first got your letter. I sat down at the table and read the words, "Welcome aboard," and I cried like a baby because I was so happy. Something in my life was finally going the way that I had planned, and I'd always known I'd be a Laker. My first trip to the hockey rink settled that, and the tour of campus too, I guess. So I took that letter as a sign that my life was going to change for the better. I had all of these expectations leading up to coming here. I'd heard all the stories from teachers, parents, and older friends that told me all that petty stuff that mattered in high school, it wasn't going to matter anymore. I was going to make great friends right away that were going to be with me for the rest of my life. I was going to attend epic parties. And more than anything, I was going to find that boy who would fall in love with everything about me. Most of that didn't happen. I've had friends walk out on me that I thought would be with me for the rest of my life. I never really got invited to those epic parties because I'm not a hot little thing that looks good in a mini skirt, and I don't like to get drunk and make out with other girls. And that boy, I still haven't found that boy. I've found a lot of assholes, though. I've dealt with all that petty recess bullying at the college level, and I cried myself to sleep. Even this year, I was deeply hurt by a couple of silly little freshman boys on the hockey team who cracked jokes about me, sent me all the way back to my childhood, and I'm still getting over that pain. Nothing happened the way it was supposed to. You, Lake State, you didn't save me. You let me fall emotionally. I've lost control. Academically, I had to stand in front of a board of people and beg to be let back in here because I had failed so miserably. You let me fall. But somewhere along the lines, I came to realize that that was your job. You had to let me fall so that I could learn to pick myself back up again. I resent you for this disappointment I faced, but I love you because of the person you've made me become. You let me down and I picked myself back up. And that's why I love you so much, Lake State. Because you represent all the best things about me, because I've learned to be the best person I can because of you. And because in reality, though you didn't give me everything I wanted, you gave me everything I needed. Just like this moment right now. I needed this. Words are power. And if used correctly, you can be superhuman. So I hope that from now on, I learn to say the things I need to. If somebody hurts me, I vow to tell them. If a boy breaks my heart, I vow to call him out on it because I know I deserve better. And more than anything, I promise to continue to express my love for Lake State because really, it's a love that I have for myself. So tonight, let this be the death of unspoken words and unsent letters. May they rest in peace so that you and I may live in peace. Laker, love,